here it is, people. It's video production 1. We're changing a halogen lamp today. So this will show up in your grade book as halogen lamp safety. And this is something that you'll very likely have to do on set, in the field at some point, for any number of reasons. Number one reason is a lamp breaks or explodes, and you need light on your subject. Here goes. This is a low light lamp head. So this is a really industry standard piece that you'll oftentimes find on news trucks and stuff. It's really fast and easy to get going. Stanley Kubrick shot almost all of A Clockwork Orange with Lowell lights, not unlike this one. But usually they're kind of like too small to use for feature filmmaking, but if we're doing little projects, we can use them a lot. We have a lot more LED lights that we use in our program now, but it's very likely that you'll still have to use this at some point, and we'll probably have to change a lamp at some point. So it's important that you know how to do that safely. One of the weird things about halogen lights, which is the light that's inside here, it uses quartz.
Oh, wow, huh.
And it reacts to the oils that you naturally produce on your skin, and the oils that are always on your hand. So one of the things that can happen is if you touch a halogen lamp, the glass part of the halogen lamp, with your bare hands, and then you turn it on and it heats up, it can explode.
Really?
Yeah. So we have some safety procedures that we need to follow to make sure that doesn't happen. And also so that you don't just burn yourself on hot lights anyway. Right now, I've identified that there's a problem, and the problem is that the lamp doesn't turn on. We've identified the problem. As you saw, the second thing on the checklist is glove up, and you'll find that on our production cart, I will almost always have a pile of gloves that you can use. If you start to put on some gloves and you realize that you have 2 gloves that don't match, is that a problem? It's just to keep the oils from your finger from getting on this halogen lamp and to keep you from burning yourself. So if you got 2 different gloves, who cares? Next thing on the list, we're going to look at this inline switch, and we're going to make sure that it's turned off. I can tell that it's off because the 0 is pushed down. If the 1 is pushed down, that's on. But this is off. Next thing, going to unplug power from the outlet on the wall. Now, there's a reason why I would do this one first. And you can see right here, I also have some tape down on my cord because I wanted to make sure that people wouldn't trip over this. So this thing is taped up on the wall. It's easy to just go find and do. There will be another instructional piece about cable safety and taping down cords later on. All right. I like to make sure that I unplug from the wall first before I unplug from here, because if I left it plugged in on the wall, I could have an open circuit right here, and if I ended up dropping this in a puddle or somebody stuck a fork in this while it was still plugged in, you could have an electrocution problem still. It's just one extra layer of safety, right? Okay, here's another layer of safety. This scrim is designed in case the halogen lamp were to explode. It's going to keep the exploding fragments from going through the air, getting in your eyes or whatever. It also knocks down the level of the light that's coming down just a little bit. So instead of being full brightness, the scrim is going to reduce the brightness of the light. This has the little tabs. You can just push off. Seems to work better to, usually you'll get it like this where the kind of tabs are diagonal inside the lamp head. But there you go. Okay, the next thing, we're going to look deep inside of this. All right, we're looking at a close-up inside the lamp head. This is the halogen lamp right here. This whole thing is called the lamp head. This is a little lever with a knob that you can move up or down. And it does this. It pushes the lamp inside the lamp head just a little further out, or pulls it back in. That actually changes focus of the light that's coming out of the lamp head. It's also much easier to remove the lamp if you push it all the way forward. So we're moving next on the checklist. Now that I have the lamp positioned forward, I'm going to just start to wiggle it out. I've got my gloves on, so that's good. And I'm going to try to grab it as low as possible, kind of pushing some upward force on it. And there it is. So you're going to see that there are two little sockets inside the lamp head. And I don't know if you can tell right now, but one of them is a lot smaller socket than the other one. This one on this side looks a little bigger. And that corresponds to the pins. There you go. That corresponds to the pins on this little lamp. I think you can see that easier, that one of those pins is a lot thicker than the other one, right? Okay, I want you to notice that because you'll need to identify that before you put the lamp in the head.
Would it not turn on if you put it on?
It just won't go in. I'm going to go find in my little lamp pack another lamp that I think is a fresh one. I think that's a fresh one. You will find, if you're doing this, that most of the ones in here are dead. It's because I'm just using these ones for demonstration purposes.
Okay,
so I think this is a good one. Now I'm replacing this with this fresh lamp. I'm going to identify which of the sockets the small or the big pin fits into. Just pushing it straight in. So I just replaced a fresh lamp there. I'm going to put the scrim back on, and then we'll start to do this. I'm going to aim the lamp head in a safe direction, because if I turned it on and it started to make bright light and I was not aware of the direction the light's pointed, I might be shining it in somebody's face, hurting their eyes or something like that too. And I'm replacing the scrim. Just kind of get it over the front, push the whole thing in. I like to keep those tabs in the diagonal corners. Going to point it in a safe direction. And that's either down, so it's not in people's faces, or up, so it's not in people's faces. Right now for this one, I'm going to move it up a little bit too. If you want to work with it down here, especially when you're learning it, that's fine. Next, after that, I'm going to plug in the lamp head. So I'm going backwards from how I did it before. Now, I'll plug it into the wall. And I still have this inline switch turned off. All right, now we're ready to test it. Moment of truth. There it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it worked. We got a nice fresh lamp in there. We could go on production with this for a little while. We might have another light modifier on this. It might have barn doors that kind of block some of the light and shape it. It might have a gel which changes the color. But at this point,
the gel, yeah.
At this point, we're ready to move on in production. Cool. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, no problem. All right.